People have been moved by the soulful voice and passionate acts of famous gospel singer and songwriter Lynda Randle. She was born in Washington, D.C. on February 7, 1962, and grew up in a musical home, which helped her build a successful career. Her rise from a poor family to fame in gospel singing is a story of skill, faith, and determination. Linda grew up in a family that held strong Christian beliefs and traditions. For her and her brothers, her parents taught them the value of faith, hard work, and community. Hymns and religious songs were often played in their home because music was very important to them. Linda's natural singing talent was clear from a very young age. She really enjoyed singing in church and was moved by how gospel music could heal and give people hope. Growing up in the city streets of Washington, D.C. had its challenges, but it also gave her a unique view on faith and life. Linda often says that the things that happened to her as a child shaped the kind and honest way she approaches her music and service. She stuck to her dreams despite the problems she faced and used her voice to spread her message of love and forgiveness. Linda went to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, to improve her musical skills and learn more about service. She began to feel a call to use her gifts to help other people while she was at Linda started a journey after high school that would finally bring her to the top of the gospel music scene. In the 1990s, Linda's career took off when she joined the Gaither Homecoming series, a well-known gospel music group led by Bill and Gloria Gaither. Her performances with the Gaither vocal band made her famous and presented her to people all over the U.S. and other countries. Her rich, warm, her heartfelt singing and contralto voice made her one of the most loved acts in the gospel music community very quickly. Along with her work with the Gaithers, Linda's solo business took off. She put out several records that showed how versatile she was and how deeply spiritual her music was to her. Many people of all ages loved church music, and songs like God on the Mountain, One Day at a Time, and Sheltered in the Arms of God became big hits. Her unique ability to show real feeling through her singing set her apart and helped her connect deeply with her audience. In addition to being a successful musician, Lynda Randle has worked to bring Christians together and help them understand each other. She has used her fame to bring people of different races and cultures together by stressing the value of love and acceptance in her ministry. A lot of people have been moved by her message to accept differences and work for peace. Linda's personal life has also been a big part of her story. She is married to pastor and musician Michael Randall, and they have two girls, Joy and Patience. Throughout her work, her family has been there for her and helped her. Linda talks a lot about how important it is for her to balance her jobs as a wife, mother, and artist. She says that her family keeps her grounded and on track with her goals. Many awards have been given to Linda over the years for her work in church music. She has performed at important events, worked with well-known artists, and won the respect of her peers. Linda stays humble and true to her faith and calling, even though she has had a lot of success. Lynda Randle's music and mission continue to inspire and uplift people all over the world. Her life and work show how important faith, persistence, and singing can be in changing people's lives. Linda's commitment to using her singing to spread love and hope, both on stage and in her community, has made her one of the most beloved artists in gospel music. Behind the soft voice and smile, though, is a life that has been touched by deep sadness. Linda's loss of her beloved mother, who had been her rock, counselor, and spiritual guide her whole life, was one of the hardest things she had to deal with. She grew up in Washington, D.C. with a close-knit family where faith was more than just a belief, it was a way of life. These ideals were taught to her children by their mother in a big way. She helped Linda enjoy singing and often told her that her voice was a gift from God that should be used to praise Him. She felt like she had lost a part of herself when she lost her mother. Linda's sadness was so deep that it sometimes seemed impossible to handle, and it made her faith weak. In the days after her mother died, Linda found it hard to connect her pain with the hope she had sung about for years. She kept singing songs like God on the Mountain and One Day at a Time on stage, but behind closed doors, she was thinking about why God had let such a big loss happen. She knew that many people looked to her as a source of strength and support because she was a well-known figure in Christian music. In her sadness, Linda found comfort in the support of her family. Michael, her husband, was her rock during this time and gave her a safe place to talk about her grief. Her girls, Joy and Patience, reminded her of the faith, strength, and love that her mother had taught her. To honor her mother's memory, they prayed, told stories, and kept up the rituals that had brought so much happiness to their family. The homecoming family was also very important in helping Linda deal with her sadness. Many of her fellow artists had also lost loved ones, and they were there to offer words of comfort and times to pray together. Bill and Gloria Gaither, who were her teachers and friends, told her that God's light could still shine through, even in the darkest places. Linda finally used her pain to make music. She began writing and singing songs about grief and the hope of seeing loved ones again in the afterlife. She connected with her viewers even more deeply by being open and honest. Fans who had lost their parents or been through similar hard times found comfort in how real she was. Her concerts weren't just shows, they were healing places where people could cry and find new hope. During the performance of God Will Take Care of You, there was a very moving moment. Linda told the crowd her story and was honest about how hard it was for her to trust God's plan after her mother died. While she sang, the room felt incredibly peaceful, as if her mother were there to tell her of the things she had taught her. Linda learned that her mother's spirit lived on in her work, her family, and her faith as she went through her journey. She learned that letting others know about her sadness helped them face their own pain and get better. It also helped her understand better what God had said, that His love will never change, even when we lose someone close to us. Lynda Randle sings with the same passion and confidence that made her famous in the beginning of her career. Every note she sings and every word she says reminds her of her mother. Her family is still her biggest source of happiness and strength, and they stand by her as she uses her singing to help other people. When Linda's mother died, she learned a very important lesson. Sadness and grace often go together. By telling her story, she has become more than just a singer. She is now a living example of how strong the human spirit is and how important faith and family are. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for your help. Don't forget to like and comment on this video if you liked it. Please let me know what you think. We'll see you next time.